My wife's paranoia is destroying our relationship and social life. Hey, fellow Redditors, I need to vent and seek some advice on a situation that's been tearing me apart. So, my wife has become convinced that all of our friends and family are out to get us. No, seriously, she thinks they're plotting to hack her phone and bug our house. It's like living in an episode of a crazy spy thriller. Now, before you ask, no, she doesn't have any concrete evidence. Her suspicions are based on what she calls weird coincidences. Let me give you an example. We were at a party last week, and a friend mentioned they were getting new pots and plants for their back porch. The very next day, my wife pointed out that we had discussed getting new potted plants for our porch just a couple of days earlier. She sees this as proof of some grand conspiracy, while I see it as a normal occurrence. People talk about stuff, and shared interests or trends can arise. Naturally, I've tried reasoning with her, but it's like talking to a brick wall. Every time I attempt to explain that her paranoia is damaging our relationship and alienating our friends, she shuts me down. She believes I'm turning against her and trying to deceive her. It's an incredibly frustrating situation because I genuinely care about her and want to help her, but she won't listen. I've racked my brain trying to understand what's going on. Is it just job stress getting to her? Or could it be something more serious, like a mental illness? I wish I had the answer, but I'm just an ordinary guy caught in the crossfire of my wife's spiraling suspicions. To make matters worse, she wants us to cut off all contact with our friends and family. Yep, you read that right. She's essentially asking me to unfriend everyone in real life and isolate ourselves from the world. She envisions a lonely existence with just the two of us, forever looking over our shoulders for the imaginary spies hiding in the shadows. It's a nightmare scenario, and I don't want to lose everyone I care about. I've tried everything to alleviate her fears. I've suggested therapy, both couples counseling and individual sessions for her, but she dismisses the idea, claiming that the therapists are also part of the conspiracy. She's fallen into this rabbit hole of paranoia, and I'm afraid she's dragging me down with her. The hardest part is watching her happiness slip away. No matter what I do, nothing seems to make her happy anymore. Her once radiant smile is faded, replaced by constant worry lines etched on her face. I miss the carefree days when we could laugh together and enjoy the company of our loved ones. So, dear Redditors, what should I do? How do I handle this delicate situation? I don't want to abandon my wife, but I also can't let her destroy our relationship and our social life. It breaks my heart to see her suffering, but I can't sacrifice my own mental well-being in the process. Please share your experiences or offer any advice you might have. Have any of you dealt with a similar situation? How did you navigate through it? I need all the help and support I can get to bring my wife back from the brink of her own imagination. Here are some of the responses he received. 1. Hey there, OP. I'm really sorry to hear about the struggles you're facing with your wife's paranoia. It sounds like an incredibly challenging situation for both of you. I can't imagine how difficult it must be to see her spiral into this mindset and shut down any attempts at reasoning. Have you considered reaching out to a mental health professional on your own? They might be able to offer guidance on how to handle the situation and cope with the impact it's having on your relationship. It's crucial to prioritize your own well-being too, even while trying to support your wife. 2. Dude, this is some next-level paranoia your wife is going on. I mean, I get it. We all have our weird thoughts sometimes, but this takes it to a whole new level. It's one thing to be cautious about privacy, but to think everyone is out to hack her phone. That's a bit too much, don't you think? Anyway, I get that you're in a tough spot. You love your wife, but her behavior is causing strain in your relationship. If she won't listen to reason, it might be time to involve a professional. Find a therapist who specializes in anxiety or paranoia disorders. Sometimes an objective third party can help shed some light on the situation and offer strategies to manage her fears. 3. Hey, OP. First of all, I want to commend you for your dedication to your wife. It's not easy standing by someone who's struggling with their mental health, especially when they refuse help. Remember to take care of yourself too, because you can't pour from an empty cup. In addition to seeking therapy, have you considered doing some research on her symptoms? It might help you better understand what she's going through and find ways to support her. There are online communities and forums where people share their experiences with similar situations. Maybe hearing from others who have overcome similar challenges can offer you some guidance or ideas. Update: things have spiraled out of control. Hey, everyone. I appreciate all the support and advice you've given me so far. It's time for an update, and unfortunately, things have taken a turn for the worse. Brace yourselves because this roller coaster just got crazier. My wife's paranoia has reached new heights, and it's now affecting my business and our marriage. She's convinced that my employees are just using me to get my money and that they don't really care about me. I mean, seriously, I've known some of these people for years, and they've been nothing but loyal and hardworking. But try telling that to my wife. Not only does she want me to fire all my employees, but she's started giving me terrible business advice. She insists that I follow her suggestions, claiming that she's the only one who truly sees the truth. It's as if she believes she's some business guru with a sixth sense for sniffing out deceit. I've tried explaining that her advice doesn't make sense and that I trust my team, but she refuses to listen. Her anger and accusations have reached a boiling point. Every time I don't act on her questionable advice, she explodes with rage, accusing me of being blind to the manipulation happening around me. It's like she's trapped in this alternate reality where everyone is out to get us. I'm at my wit's end, feeling torn between wanting to save my marriage and preserving my sanity. After much contemplation and sleepless nights, I made the difficult decision to move out. I hope that by separating ourselves, she might somehow snap out of this delusion and seek the help she desperately needs. It breaks my heart to leave her behind, but I fear that staying would only enable her destructive behavior. Now, here I am, living in a tiny apartment, trying to rebuild my life while constantly worrying about my wife's well-being. It's tough, but I have to take care of myself too. I've contacted her family and close friends, urging them to intervene and support her during this challenging time. I still love my wife, and I desperately want her to find her way back to reality. But I can't let her drag me down any further. I'm hopeful that our separation will be a wake-up call for her, that she'll realize the extent of the damage her paranoia has caused. I'm grateful for all the advice and encouragement you've given me thus far. If any of you have gone through something similar or have any further suggestions on how to handle this delicate situation, please share your wisdom. I'm navigating uncharted waters here, and any support would be greatly appreciated. Wish me luck as I embark on this new chapter of my life, hoping for a brighter future for both of us. Now, a few more responses. 1. OP, I can't imagine how difficult this must be for you. It takes incredible strength to make the decision to move out, but your well-being is just as important as your wife's. You've done everything you can to support her, and sometimes tough choices have to be made. 2. Hey, OP, I've been through something similar, and my heart goes out to you. It's tough when your partner's paranoia starts affecting your work and relationship. Moving out was a tough call, but sometimes it's necessary to protect yourself. Final update, the breaking point. Hey, everyone. I appreciate all the support and advice you've given me throughout this journey. It's time for a final update, and I wish I could bring better news, but the situation has reached its breaking point. I have filed for divorce. It's a decision I never wanted to make, as I still love my wife deeply, but her paranoia has become too overwhelming for me to bear. Despite my efforts, she refuses to seek genuine help and has instead turned to a self-proclaimed psychic as her counselor. Yes, you read that right, a psychic. She's paying this person to validate her beliefs and feed her paranoia, further plunging her into the darkness. I've come to realize that I'm powerless to save her from this distorted reality she has created for herself. It breaks my heart because all I ever wanted was to help her, to bring her back to the person she once was. But she has chosen a path that I can't follow. Leaving her feels like a betrayal, and the guilt weighs heavily on my shoulders. But I have to prioritize my own well-being and sanity. I deserve a life free from constant accusations and mistrust. It's a painful realization, but sometimes letting go is the only way forward. I want to thank each and every one of you who has offered support, shared your experiences, and provided guidance throughout this challenging time. Your words have given me strength and reassurance that I'm not alone in this struggle. Thank you all once again, and I wish you all the strength and resilience to navigate life's challenging moments. Wowzers, that sounds like a tough spot to be in. Have any of you ever had to face a situation like this? If so, how did you handle it? What would you have done if you were in this guy's shoes? Let us know in the comments below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.